Hi everyone, Robin Shea here. Welcome to day 15 evening message of Before the Fork, the 28-day experience. Coming at you a little later tonight than usual, but I have to show you what I've been working on. Super proud of this. This is Rowdy's senior year, and in good old Texas style, went to a mom making party tonight for senior night at on football on Friday. So that was kind of fun. Moms are not big here in Kentucky. Hi, Bernadette. Moms are a Texas thing. So it was really fun because my sister and I were able to really contribute to everyone making their moms because, of course, we grew up with moms in Dallas. So it was a lot of fun. Okay, so tonight's message is one that is kind of reminiscent of this mom making. This mom is Rowdy's senior football night, so it's his final football season, and so it's kind of a marker. It's a marker that things are getting ready to change in my life because I won't have any more kiddos in high school. Rowdy's my caboose. He's the last one. So I wanted to talk to you tonight. This is on page 270, and it's one of the techniques that are called, the technique is called descansos. And it's honor and release. And it's really an incredibly important part of the 24-hour blocks that we're learning to live our life in. Who else is there? Hi, Lisa. Glad you're here. So I wanted to go over with you the meaning of descansos, where I came up with the idea to incorporate it into the tips, tools, and techniques in the book. There is a book that I have that is one of my most treasured books. Now, I listen to it on audio. And the reason I listen to it on audio is because the author, who is also the orator of the audio book, has the most beautiful speaking voice. So when she walks you through her book, her speaking voice is just captivating. And the name of the book is Women Who Run with Wolves. And it's Clarissa Pinkola Estes. And you know what? I'll put a link up there for any of you that may be interested. But it's a book that's a compilation of all kinds of fables from all over the world. She herself, Clarissa, is, I believe, from Mexico. I believe, although she doesn't have a real thick Mexican accent or Spanish accent, I believe that's where she's from. But nonetheless, it's just a compilation of all of these folk stories, and then she ties the folk stories into a modern interpretation of how perhaps that folk story served the population of that time. So it was, people trying to make sense of their worlds. So descansos was one of the messages in one of the stories that she told. And basically, a descanso is a marker of change. It's a turning point, even death, literal and figurative. And this is how I incorporated it into Before the Fork, the 28-day experience. So in Latin America, they are the roadside shrines that mark the memory where an accident claimed a life. We've all seen those, where you're driving down a highway and you see like a little collection of crosses and you know that something tragic happened there and took a life. Metaphorically, we can also view them as crossroads, choice points, places where you choose one road where you might have taken another. So the release of resistance that I experienced, now it's been 16 years ago, was a palpable descansos. Meaning that when I collapsed on the floor, I rose a changed person. I knew there was no going back. I had come to a crossroads. I'd come to a marker, and I chose one road, and I knew that I could never go back to the way that things were. It was a very, very palpable moment in my life. And I've talked about the 24-hour blocks before, but that is where the descansos has been most prevalent in my continued growth and my continued expansion. Hi, Melissa. My sister's on, so I just have to show her. There's mine. There's my mom. Not quite done, but there it is. So anyway, the way that I incorporated descansos is, as we've talked about, when I go to bed at night, I sit that suitcase of transgressions on the end of my bed, and I bless it and I leave it. The resistance slows down from those transgressions during the evening, during my sleep. And when I wake up in the morning, I make a conscious choice not to pick up those transgressions and carry them into my new day. So that's this whole descansos idea from Pinkola Este's work is where I came up with living life in 24-hour blocks and how much that serves you, not carrying your transgressions into the next day. So I do want to go over with you real quickly, because this is a tremendous technique that can help you find appreciation in your day and embrace your tomorrow. So how to do descansos. 3 minutes before you sleep and 3 minutes after you awaken. That's where I would like for you to plug this into your life. So the step one is settle into your bed and begin spending 15 to 20 seconds in appreciation of your environment. Feel your soft pillow, spray your linens. I have linen spray that I use in my bedroom, the crisp, cool sheets. You know, your bed is your sanctuary. It's your safe place. Hi, Lindsay. And so that environment really needs to embody everything that brings you joy. I have a little atomizer beside my bed. I have a salt lamp on the other side of my bed. I have my linen spray. All my creature comforts are right there in my bedroom. So I take a few moments and I just appreciate everything in my surroundings. So this does a couple things. It not only welcomes you to your bed, but it softens your resistance. You know, not to be crude, but I'm going to be crude. You know, when you come home from a long day and you've had a bra on all day that is uncomfortable as all get out, and the first thing you do when you walk in the door is hit the bedroom, get out of those uncomfortable clothes and put something on that allows you to slip into a more peaceful state. Well, that is just lessening resistance. If you were to keep those uncomfortable clothes on until you go to bed, you would go to bed as uptight as you were when you walked in the door. So it's just that lessening of resistance that lets you slip into a more enjoyable frame of mind. So the second thing I want you to do is, now that you're in a softer, more allowing space, which absolutely is green zone, I want you to acknowledge the moments of contrast you experience throughout your day. Perhaps an argument, you blew your diet, you yelled at your child, whatever it was that is in the suitcase. Hi, Deborah. Whatever it is, I want you to bless it. I want you to acknowledge it, and I want you to thank it for where it has brought you. Always bless the contrast. Even if you don't see the blessing, always bless the contrast. As many of you know, and I've said on the page before, we're going through something here in our lives that we've never, ever experienced. And I am daily asking God to reveal the blessing in the situation. And he continues to show me glimpses of the blessing, but I know the blessing's there, and that's going to be my focus. So the next thing that I want you to do is settle back into your bed after you've acknowledged the transgressions that are in that suitcase at the foot of your bed. And I want you to repeat step one. I want you just to breathe into that, settle back into your sheets, feel them against your body, breathe in the fresh, cool linen spray that's in your room, and just let it all go. You could even do one of those meditation practices where you tighten every muscle in your body from your toes to the top of your head, just wincing it for a good 15 seconds, and then breathe it out, and you just release into your bed. So upon wakening, and that should really only take you 2 to 3 minutes. This is not a mind twister. This is simply a practice of honoring and releasing. So then when you awaken in the morning, I want you to do 2 things. I want you to ease into your day by choosing a soothing way to wake up. I just found the coolest thing with my little Amazon Alexa that I have beside my bed. They're super inexpensive. I think it was, I don't know, $30, something like that. But I tell Alexa, wake me up at 5:45 with ocean sounds. And then at 5:45, Alexa starts some ocean waves in my room, and it brings me out of my sleep, and it's peaceful and it's wonderful. And there's no harsh or, whatever your alarm sounds like. So that has been a really enjoyable part of my day. Step 2, I want you to revisit the joy that your bed brought you. I want you to revisit, spend 30 seconds appreciating your bed. And we've all heard this before, that appreciation and gratitude is the direct conduit to your higher self. It's the direct conduit for God in your life. And by starting your day, by simply saying to God in your mind and through your physical senses, God, thank you. Thank you for these soft sheets. When your gratitude starts with something as small as thank you for my sheets, there are people, and I don't mean to be melodramatic, but there are people out there that don't have the luxury of waking up in a safe home. They don't have the luxury of waking up with someone they love next to them, or the luxury of maybe not having to be at work at 5 o'clock in the morning. So just by simply acknowledging, thank you for the softness of these sheets, for the safety of my home, for the love of my family, and start your day in gratitude before your feet ever hit the floor, is just an act of gratitude that you will carry with you throughout the day. Let's see, my sister wrote, this is huge. Make your bed like you're lying down in butter and be so grateful. And I love, yeah, absolutely. Your bed is your safe place. There goes Boogie again. I'm grateful for Boogie, but she can drive me nuts. So Boogie, come here, girl. Boogie, knock it off, sister. That's enough. Stay in here. So the awakening process accomplishes 2 things. It helps you begin your day in the green zone, which is a beautiful practice. And it also reminds you that joy can be found in the most seemingly small, inconsequential places as sheets. So I wanted to heighten y'all's awareness to these practices in the back of the book. They are written for you. They were practiced by me before they ever made it into the book. And they were lived by me and continue to be lived by me every single day. So I'm going to put a link to Clarissa Pinkola Esté's book, Women Who Run with Wolves. I'm a little weird in my literature choices, but this one has ministered to me on so many levels. We are women. We share a dynamic that is totally unique to our sex. And the way that she writes and the way that she conveys these age-old fables and ties them back to the cultural life at the time, but also to our life as women today, really helps me to make sense of my world, and a world that is moving so very quickly, especially for women, having to morph into more and more masculine roles in our lives, as well as maintaining our feminine spirit. That's a tough order to fill, to be able to know when your masculine is being called upon, but also having the wisdom to know when to step back into your feminine to honor those areas of your life as well, and not getting locked into a masculine and edging out the masculinity of your spouse or whatever it may be. And this is a whole nother subject and a whole nother topic that I'm completely fascinated with. And that's the yin and the yang of marriage. But anyway, her work has been very, very important to me. And I really encourage any of you that like to read those types of books to read the book. And again, I'll put up a link. So I'm going to wrap it up. You guys spend some time in the back of the book. Spend some time with the tips, tools, and techniques. Remember, you're creating your own toolbox, but at the same time, I've given you a really good head start back here with all of these tips, tools, and techniques that go both to physical techniques, tips and tools that range all through the happiness ladder, centering yourself, but as well as tangible things to do in your home and outside of your home. So that's all I have for tonight. I love you all. Thank you for joining me. Know that tonight when I lay my head down, you will be part of the blessings and the prayers that I speak. I'm with you every single step of the way. We are halfway done, a little over halfway done. Tomorrow's day 16. So we will have 16, 17, 18, 19. We'll have 4 more days in phase 2 before we launch into phase 3. So I hope everyone is feeling the shift. I hope you're feeling the shift. I hope you have felt the contrast. I hope you have not known what to do in moments and then leaned into some of the practices and found your strength and found your balance. This is your growth. This is your opportunity to really know what it means to work for a goal of bettering yourself in a desired image that God has entrusted to you to honor. So again, have a great night, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye now.